welcome back to Trilogy's channel. We've been absent from the YouTube for a few weeks, and that is for good reason. I wanted to wait before making a video on the watch that I'm going to present to you today. The reason for that is it's a watch that was released this year, and I just bought it a couple of weeks ago, and I wanted to wear it for a week to really give an in-depth review and a feel for it, because it's probably one of the first time someone's been given a review of it on YouTube or Instagram or anywhere else, obviously as it's such a brand new watch. And that watch is this. This is the Audemars Piguet Royal Oak Chronograph 2022 release. This is the 50th anniversary edition, released in end of January this year. It's an absolutely stunning piece, and something there's been a lot of excitement about this year. Obviously, this year, 2022, is the 50th anniversary of the Royal Oak being released, which was originally released in 1972. So we knew there was going to be something special from AP this year. All the horological eyes were on AP and what they were going to release and how they were going to honour this absolutely groundbreaking piece that was initially released. And I think it's fair to say AP have done that. There was a lot of buzz in January. The things they released are absolutely amazing. I'm so excited and I couldn't wait to get my hands on any of them. This was the first one I was offered at a reasonable price, but there are some great ones there too, like the 39mm ultra thin skeleton looks absolutely stunning. I can't wait to buy one of those, and so many, many more. But as I said, this is the first one I got offered at a reasonable price, so I decided to buy it and stock it and give it a review. And all I can say is, wow, this is a really good piece. I think AP have outdone themselves this year, and they really have honoured the legend that is the Royal Oak. The excitement and the allure of wearing this special piece hasn't waned. It's in fact grown as the week's gone on, and I just really wear it, take a look at it, catch it in different lights, and you just get even more of an appreciation of how special this watch really is. In the past, I've had most of Royal Oak chronos from all the sort of lines and different variations, 39mm, 41mm, the 26331, the 26320, and I really think this feels different. It wears different, it looks different, and you know that it's a special anniversary piece, and it really does feel that way whilst wearing it. There's a few differences, a few subtle differences, and some not so subtle that set this apart from Royal Oaks of the past, which I'm going to delve into now. From the face-on view, there's a few noticeable differences that set this apart from Royal Oaks of the past. Obviously, from a distance or from sort of a design perspective, if this looks most similar to the 26320, which was available a few years ago, the model before last. It was then replaced by the 26331, which is this one. The 26320 had a dial colour and the sub-dials colour all the same. So obviously black all across, blue all across, like you can see on the boutique blue, which we have one here, or white all across. So it's a bit similar to that in sort of colouring perspective. However, there are some differences that I'm going to talk to you about now. AP have removed the traditional AP logo at 12 o'clock. A lot of people like the AP logo at 12 o'clock, and obviously it's shrouded in history. However, I think it was a good decision from AP to sort of strip it back, and it shows you that this is obviously a different watch to the 26320. Another thing that they've done is removed automatic on the dial, which I think is a bit of a sort of reminiscent of the change from the 15500 ST, which we have here, the blue dial, and the 15400, where they removed automatic for a more cleaner and sharper look on the dial. And obviously it's reminiscent on that on here, that they've removed the AP logo and the automatic word for a cleaner and sharper look on the 26240. Also, it's a bit of a subtler difference, but I believe a lot of you would notice it if you wore it for a bit of time. The location of the sub-dials are swapped on this one as opposed to the old one. The running seconds chrono swapped from the 3 o'clock to the 6 o'clock position, and vice versa from the 26320. Another change on the dial, which I think is a welcome one and something I think looks great aesthetically, is the date window. The date window now sits right in the corner between 4 and 5 o'clock, and it is slightly larger as well. And I think this looks great, and I think it really helps for the overall look of the watch, as opposed to on the older models where it was sort of lifted a bit more floating and it was a bit smaller. It's a bit more statement-y on this, and I think it really suits it. Whilst yes, it is a 41mm case like Royal Oak chronos of the past, this new model has a sapphire case back, as it lets you see the absolutely stunning movement, which I'm about to show you. And in order to fit this, they had to increase the thickness of the case from 10.8 to 12.4 millimeters in thickness. Obviously, I'm aware that smaller watches are sort of being a bit more fashionable, and I know this is a little bit bigger by a couple of mil, but I really do think it suits this watch. It still remains comfortable and incredibly sporty and wearable every day, but I just think it just has a much nicer look to it, especially when you're wearing it all the time. It is much more of a sports watch in the current world. As I said, the thickness of the case is one of the best features, but now I want to talk about the absolutely best feature on this watch, which I think is stunning, and I keep looking at it over the week I've been wearing it. And that is the skeleton caseback. This movement is so good looking, it makes you want to wear the watch back to front. 40 joules and the 50-year oscillating weight seen through this sapphire caseback is just something to marvel at. Over the week that I've had this watch, I find myself taking the watch off purely just to look at the movement and admire the craftsmanship that has gone into it. I've shown a lot of my watch dealer friends and friends who are into the hobby of horology, and everyone has agreed with me and marvelling at how good this movement looks. I really think it is fantastic what AP have done, and it really suits this watch. Especially the 50-year oscillating weight, I think that is a really nice touch, and obviously sets it apart as the 50th anniversary edition of the Royal Oak. All in all, the new AP line for 2022 is brilliant and well thought out, and I for one am a big fan. I'm glad that this is the first one I got to try out and obviously buy it and bring to show you all. All of the features I just discussed make me think it is one of the best releases of the year of 2022, especially in a year that some brands, I would say, disappointed, especially Rolex, AP, as well as Vacheron have really knocked it out of the park. But all in all, I think AP knew they had to. It was the anniversary, half a century of the Royal Oak, which was the groundbreaking sports model released in 1972. They had to do something to honour it, honour a General Genta's design, and just honour probably one of the most recognisable and famous sports watches of all time. AP knew they had the challenge and they stepped up to the plate fantastically. And I, for one, am very impressed with AP this year, very impressed with this watch, and I can't wait to get my hands on some of the others. Like the 39mm skeleton I mentioned, and I think I'm probably going to be adding one of these or that to my collection because I am so impressed with them. This piece is priced to sell today at Trilogy at $115,000. Obviously it's way over retail like everything is. However, I do think it will achieve that price, obviously being the first in Europe and being the anniversary model, one of the first available. Unless you've been living under a rock, you probably have seen a slight correction in market prices on a few of the hot models at the moment. I won't delve too much detail into that at the moment, but I will be doing a market update video coming soon. Obviously there is a correction, however I think this piece may be excluded from that for a couple of reasons. Firstly, it's a brand new 2022 model, and there's hardly any around, so the supply is very limited, and obviously the demand is super high. Just look at the hype that came around it in January, and there's going to be more hype now that few start to enter the market. Secondly, it's an anniversary model of perhaps the most iconic luxury steel sports watch of all time, and there's so much demand for it, and people will be looking for it everywhere. And thirdly, and I don't know if this is true or not, so don't hold it as gospel, but there's rumours going around that this watch, being a 2022, obviously the 50th year, is only going to be produced for 1 year for that anniversary year. And if that is the case, the production of these will be even more limited than before, so they will definitely be holding high in price. So whatever the case, this watch is hot property and definitely one of the best releases of 2022. AP have done a fantastic job and I am really impressed. In recent years, AP's releases haven't really excited the world, but this year we really have seen it from them. It's a great watch and I've thoroughly enjoyed my time with it. And I'm going to be sad to see it go, but I know it's going to go on to a good home, whoever buys this piece. If you're interested in the piece, pop down, have a look. It's in my store with me. And let me know what you think about this AP 26240 in the comments below. Is it one of the best releases of the year? Do you agree with me? Would you buy this with $115,000? Let me know. It'd be great to hear your comments. Thanks for tuning in to another episode of Trilogy. And remember, if you're looking for a new watch, don't forget to phone Frankie first.